Hi, my name is Natalie and welcome to my channel, and in today's video I'm going to be talking and vlogging about the Vair sweater, as you can see here, from Shetland, from book 3 of the Shetland Trader, which is the heritage issue. And in a previous video I spoke about some other knits I'd already done from this book, and this was on my to-do list for this to do at some point. And Gudrun is doing a knit along on Ravelry at the moment. I've put a link in the description below so you can see the link to that in case you may want to join in. I think it's running till the end of the year, 2025 at the time of filming this video. And it's now currently September. So I've decided not to go with the standard colours that are in the book. I have a shade card for Jameson and Smith Shetland wool, so I had a little look through the shades and thought, what would I like to do and maybe would like. I'd already decided I wasn't going to do a striped shell pattern as this one is. I was going to do another version they've done in the book, which is, if I can find you a picture, is this one here. But again, I'm going to change the colours. So the colours I've planned are this shade, you can see here, and then a combination of these for the ferrule with that main shade there. It's a bit of pink, like a salmon pink colour, and then some yellows, which I thought might work quite well. So I did some swatching, so obviously it's stocking stitch, just to check my tensions match what's in the book. Can see there, and I did a swatch of the ferrule in the colours that I'm thinking. You can see there, and I'm really happy with them colours. I really like them. It's very 70s, I think, in the colourway. I really like it, so I'm gonna stick with my colour choice there. And at the weekend, so I actually started this one evening during last week, and I managed to do some knitting of it this weekend around some other things I had on. And this is it so far that I've knitted. And I'm loving the shaping. And what I think is lovely as well is, see that there. And what I love as well is just this lovely sort of shaping detail on the sides as well, which makes it, I could see in the pattern that you didn't have this sort of uniform sort of shell, like scalloped edge going all the way round. I knew that there was some like edge shaping as well, so around the sides, like some waist shaping. So you've got this lovely shape in here, so it's just like it sort of goes a bit more sort of squarer there, but I kind of like it. I like how that sort of comes in, so I didn't decide to sort of tweak that or amend it to have it all uniform all round. I quite liked how that adds that detail to it. So I'm now getting to the point where I'm going to be expanding back to, I think, for the bust size. So it's gone into the waist shaping, it's coming back out now. And I've actually made mine longer, so I did order extra balls of wool for this. So in the original version, I don't know if you can see, probably more in the same colour one. If I can find that here. It's actually quite cropped. So what I've decided to do is add some more rows at the beginning before the waist shaping. So I've sort of figured out what sort of my waist is and how long I sort of want it before that. And then what I've done is I've done it longer there. I think sometimes you can extend it afterwards, but I've gone with that to see, and we'll see how I get on with that and see how that goes. And what's also really good about this design, because I appreciate puff sleeves isn't for everyone. Not everyone loves them as much as I do, and you've got two options here, so you can either knit it with the puff sleeve or you can have a straight sleeve with it. And I think this version with the plain shell pattern has actually got a straight sleeve that you could knit, but obviously I'm going to be doing the puffier the better for me, so I'm going to be doing the puff sleeve version. So again, I made sure when I ordered my wool batch, I had in mind just how many like I would need to take that into account as well. So I looked at the basic sort of wool requirements for that particular look, but adding on more for that, and also take into account the length, because I wanted to lengthen it, because I do like my sweaters sort of past the hips really, rather than sitting on just on the top hip, but normally a bit longer, if ideally for me, is the sort of length I like. So I'm really enjoying the knit so far. I'm loving this pattern. It's just two rows or 2 rounds of like a yarn over, and then there's 1 purl. So it's a pretty simple design. It's just obviously making sure you get the yarn overs in the right place and everything. So I'm really enjoying that, and at night time I have to have it quite well lit because it is quite dark. So yeah, I look forward to checking in again once I've maybe knitted the body of it, and to show you how that's looking. So I'm just checking in to show you how much progress I've made on the Vair sweater from the Shetland trader, and this is it so far. So I've done all the lace pattern. I added in some more rows of stocking stitch around the bust area, so I've made it slightly longer. So what I did was I extended the length up till the waist shape into the width I would want it on my hips for it to fall, and then I knitted the waist shape in and a few more rounds that the pattern said to do, but then I went into the stocking stitch, and that's purely because I personally didn't want the lace pattern to show over my bust area. I wanted that in stocking stitch, so I added a few more rounds to be able to do that, so when it's on where the armhole shaping falls. I don't know if you can see here, but I should have, if I've successfully done that correctly with the workings out and the measurements, I should have a lot of my bust area covered with the stocking stitch, and then it goes into the lace underneath that. So if you see the book, it's hard to see with the dark one here because it's actually lace going up. It almost looks like that's stocking stitch, but that's actually the lace pattern in the black. But you can see, like on this example here, the lace goes right up over the bust, right there. And I didn't really want that so much. Again, with a fuller bust, I didn't quite want that lace going all that way up. I think I would prefer it more brought in with the stocking stitch. So that's what I've decided to do on this make. And I'm now at the point where I've got to cut the steeks. I know people who are new to that get really potentially freaked out by it or quite scared by it. I've done it numerous times over the years for various Fair Isle projects, so it doesn't actually faze me at all. And even Gudrun puts in the book on the special techniques, because in the past sometimes I've used the crochet finishing or fixing side of the methods. If you look more into it, you can see technique videos. Gudrun has good ones on her YouTube channel. I'll put a link in the description below so you can see that. But it, you know, people like to reinforce them sometimes. And even Gudrun has said here in her book, if you are using a good woolly and grippy yarn like Shetland wool, which I am, then reinforcing the steek isn't really necessary. However, if you feel more comfortable putting in some reinforcement, then I recommend using the crochet method. So I've not bothered. I've not done the crochet method. I've just gone for it and cut. As you can see on the neck one here, you can see on there. Oh, can you see that? So they're not all ravelling back and it's all gone into the knitting. It's absolutely fine. I'm really not stressed about it. And then what you do is I think I've got to double check the instructions, but they'll just be folded back and sewn. And it's so sticky, the wool. It really is. It doesn't want to just unravel and all come apart. So I didn't feel the need to crochet and add that extra step in. I think it's fine. You know, worst case you can felt it. It's fine. I'm not stressed about it. Like I said, it's not all coming back on itself. So I've now just got to do the armhole steeks I need to cut down as well. So I don't know if I can do it on camera. I was going to show you a little bit of it. So I'm just basically cutting down the middle of the steek, right in the middle. So you can't really see that on camera. But you can see I'm just cutting it there. You can see. So like I said, no reinforcement. I'm just cutting right down the steek. And then that will just, again, I think you fold over and secure it on the sides. So that's absolutely fine. Like I said, if you're first time doing it, all that knitting and hard work you've put into all your colour work, you know, you can be super scared of it and think, oh my God, but it's really not that scary once you get used to it. If you use the right wool, I mean, if you use silk, cotton, anything like that, I think you would be in trouble if you just cut it. It would just, you know, any slinky wools that aren't grippy or yarns, yeah, it would all just unravel and all your work would just be undone. But the good thing about like Shetland wool is, you know, you can literally just cut it and it does stay. Trust in the process, it does stay, you'll be fine. But I've used Shetland wool, the traditional wool, the one that's described in the book, so that's all good. So yeah, I'm really pleased with the colours. I think I'm really happy with those. They've got a real 70s vibe that I was aiming for. I think it was super helpful having the shade card for the wool from Jameson's. So I think that really helped because it just enabled me to sort of look at the colours of the actual wool and put them together and see what combinations I liked. And I was obviously feeling in a very sort of pink and yellow mode with the sort of almost like burgundy, browny kind of main colour yarn there, or main colour wool there. So I'm just looking through now thinking, is there any mistakes? I did triple check this before I cut the steeks. I hope I've done my pattern work correctly. I've been doing some of this in the evenings after work, so yeah, I'm hoping I didn't get confused, but I have triple checked it and it all looked fine. And to be honest, after every pattern sort of section, I was looking through and just checking that I'd done them correctly. So it was pretty, the patterns were pretty easy to follow, so that was really good. So that was all fine. But yeah, I'm excited to get on to the next step now, which I think is joining the shoulders with a 3 needle bind off. And then I'm going to be adding the sleeves. And then after that, I think it's the roll neck part. So if you might notice, this is the other dress that I talked about at the beginning of the video that I made from the Shetland Trader book. Can't remember what it's called now. Called the Elsk dress there. So I'm wearing that today and it's super warm and cosy. The weather's turned a little bit in Brighton, so it's nice to have this on today. So I'm just checking in to let you know how I'm getting on with the Vair sweater. I had a lovely weekend to myself this weekend, which was really nice. I don't get to do that too often at the moment. There always seems to be something on at the weekends and we're quite busy. So it was really lovely to be able to just relax and have, apart from doing some housework, you know, just have some good quality time of knitting, which was really nice. And it's all pretty much together now. I've now finally managed to do the sleeve. I've managed to finish one sleeve, as you can see here, and I'm loving the puff sleeve. It is amazing. It's just exactly my style. It's so nice. I love how Gudrun's designed that. It's amazing. And there's lots of increasing to get it because it's nice and tight. It's very Biba. It's very, you know, 70s does 30s. It's amazing. I love it. I absolutely love it. And I'm really happy with the colour combination that I've picked as well. I think that is looking quite nice. So I'm really pleased with that. The sleeve construction was interesting to do because I tend to sew my sleeves in or I knit them in the round as a yoke. I don't tend to do this particular method that Gudrun does, and so it's interesting trying that. So you'll see in this photo here how it's sort of, the stitches are sort of picked up around the sleeve head once you've cut the steek stitches, and then short row shaping's sort of done to get this sort of shape around the shoulder and down the arm before you start on the main part of the sleeve, as you can, on the sleeve head, as you can see here. So I had to have full concentration when I do that, no TV in the background. I need to sort of remember which rows I'm doing the short row shaping on, and there was a few to follow. So And also you need good, this is quite a dark yarn, so I needed really good daylight to pick up the stitches, so I was able to do that too. And the only sad thing now is I've run out of yarn. I feel like this happens a lot with me sometimes. Now it's because I've tweaked the pattern a little bit. So I did buy extra yarn or extra wool for this top because I knew I'd be making it longer than the original sort of, I'll get the book here, than the original crop length. It sits quite high up. So I knew I wanted it longer, sort of past my hips almost. So I allowed for that. I allowed for swatching, for doing my, you know, for doing my sort of knitted swatches. You know, making sure my gauge or my tension was the same. So that was fine. But I think what I hadn't taken into account and what I didn't decide on until I started knitting it was I wasn't doing the lace design right up until pretty much the Fair design. So it came right up. I realised as I was starting to knit it, that lace wasn't going to be particularly flattering for me around my bust area and then straight into that. I thought I didn't like the look of that so much on me. I felt it needed some stocking stitch around that area first. So I think the reason I now need an extra ball is because of that, because it wasn't the lace. I think I might have had just about had enough for the roll neck, and I'm literally on the sleeve like rib now. If I hadn't have done that amendment. And also I have actually made the sleeve slightly longer here, so I had to put a stitch marker in so I could compare it when I started the increases on this one. So I did actually make this a little bit longer because I wanted more of a dramatic sort of the way it billows over the rib a little bit more than that one. I don't know if you can see in the photo here, but it literally just kind of sits on top, and I wanted it to sort of dangle over a little bit more, like that real dramatic effect that I personally really love to wear. And again, I don't think I really thought about that until I started knitting the sleeves. I thought, oh, I think I might want to make them longer. And then of course what I've not really thought about is you're probably going to run out of some wool if you do that. So yeah, that's unfortunately what's happened. So I've contacted the Shetland, I've contacted Jamieson's and Smiths to see if they can send the same dye lot. So I'm hoping they will. It was a few weeks ago I ordered it, so it wasn't like it was months ago. So I really hope they can. I'm just going to have to see. But it's really annoying because I'm right near the end. I just need to do the roll neck and finish that, and then I'm kind of done. So I'm now going to have to wait however many days until they send me the batch. And I ordered 4, which I think I've probably over ordered, but then I thought, well, I don't know how long, you know, they're 25 gram balls. I don't know how many I'm going to end up needing for the roll neck. I might just need 1 or maybe 2, but I ordered 4 to cover myself, and I thought it's not like I'm not going to use them. I'm really obsessed with Fair at the moment, so I'm bound to sort of use them in a project. You know, it's what's great about Fair. You can just use one of the balls. That's why I think they're produced in the grams they are, because you can just literally use one for like one bit of the pattern, and then you're on to the next one. So it's nice to have a little collection of them as well to add into my design work. Oh, I'll try that shade, see how it works with this colourway before I commit to a bigger project on it. So yeah, that's fine. But I'm really happy with how that's looking. I did quickly try it on and I was super happy with the fit. The fit is just perfect for me. I've definitely knitted the right size, and I mean I went by the measurements and obviously checked my tension, but I am super happy with how that actually fits on my body too. So yeah, that's like a complete win-win on that one, which is good. So I've just fallen in love all over again with this book. If you saw my previous video, you would have seen what I've already made from it, including this and this. I'm just a big fan of this book. And I wonder if anyone else has knitted loads of patterns from it. If you're watching this video, if you've come across this and you have, I would love to know. Please comment below and let me know any links to any websites you may have or blogs, or you know, even your own video on YouTube where you've knitted them. I'd love to see it. So I thought after this one, this will probably be it now. after knitting the Vair sweater. There'll probably be nothing else I will be knitting from it, I thought. But then, of course, I'm looking at the book regularly for the pattern. I've come across the Boonaberry jumper here. And of course, now I'm loving this sleeve design. This has got a very similar sleeve design, but with a fair roll on the sleeve, which I really like there, as you can see. And I'd like to knit some more dresses for winter. I love wearing dresses in the winter, like woolen dresses, and I love the other one I made. And I'm now thinking, oh, I'd like this as a dress version. So again, I'd lengthen it. I would probably make that more fitted. But since I'm actually a knitwear designer, I'm sure people can do it as well. There's so many good video tutorials showing you how to alter patterns nowadays. But yeah, I would still keep the rib bottom, so that would still remain like that. Because the other dress design I did from this book, which was the, let's see if I can find it here, the Else dress here, that was hemmed at the bottom. But as you can see there, but it does kind of kick out a little bit, and that is just the style of it, that's how it is. And I personally don't mind a rib bottom where it comes in a bit more. So I think I will keep with the rib, but I'm going to have a little play with some colours, I think, at some point. I've got some other knitting projects I really would like to finish and get done first, but that is definitely on my knitting plan list, I think. And I've literally only thought about that this weekend because, I don't know, when I was flicking through to get to the pattern, I saw it again and it just came to me. I was like, oh, that would be a beautiful dress, a lovely winter dress with some boots in the winter, and that would be amazing and lovely and warm like my other one to wear. So, and then it's nice and plain. I quite like the fact it's all plain and then it's just the detail on the arms. I quite like that. So I'm gonna, I'll check the bust measurements and everything, and then I will just work it accordingly with my hips and waist. It might be that I just knit it all in the round, reduce my needle size, and then rather than any complicated increase and decreasing in the round, because it's stocking stitch, I don't mind if the stocking stitch size changes in the dress. It's fine because it's all over. It will just give it a little bit of shape, and then back to the bust size. And I'll probably try and keep a similar bust size, I think, so I can get the armhole neckline shape in the same as the pattern with the sleeves. So I'm sure these are probably picked up again around, I would imagine. I've not triple checked it yet. I will do that in a future video when I actually get round to knitting that one. But at this rate, I think I'm going to end up pretty much knitting most things from this book because it's just so lovely. And it's my style. It's like a 1970s catalogue for me that I can have now. I just go, yeah, I'd like that one. Oh, okay, let's knit that one then. And it's just part of my fashion and what I wear all the time. This is just my dream wardrobe, basically, with colours I get to choose as well because I make it. You know, I don't have to stick with these colours. I can go, well, this is kind of my colourway and this is what I like. And some of them, like these ones, I have actually stuck with the actual colours because I really liked those colours, I think. I do think I did stay with those colours. And obviously with the scarf as well, because I wear a lot of orange. So that was going to go with so many things, and I love pinks and, you know, go with black, goes with everything. So that's really good. But yeah, so hopefully when I next check in, I would have knitted the rest of the sleeve and the roll neck. So it's just a waiting game now. Find another knitting project to do until that one is ready to knit again. So I'm now in the process of blocking the sweater. It's now all finished and knitted, and I'm really happy with how it's looking. So after soaking it for 20 minutes with some gentle wool wash liquid, I've now just made sure whilst blocking it that I've got the points of the lace pattern there. I'm blocking those, and I've got some blocking mats here that I use when I'm blocking Shetland work or any kind of lace work or any wool that does require this type of blocking. So I'm just doing that now, and I look forward to showing you what it's like when it's on. So overall, I am really happy with this sweater. I absolutely love it. It was such good fun to knit as well. It was a great travelling project when out and about because it had so much stocking stitch in it. So it was, you know, I could just knit it and it was fine. I love, love, love these sleeves. Absolutely love them. And like I said, I think I said earlier in the video, I did them a bit longer so they draped over the cuff a bit more, which I'm really, to give that extra like drama to them, and I love them. I absolutely love them. They're very Biba-esque for me, and the colours very 70s in the style I was going for, so I'm super happy with my colour choice. I absolutely love it. I love the lace edge with the lovely border as you saw in the video I just shown, and I love it. It's just going to be a lovely sweater that I'm going to love to wear through these winter months. So that, just as a reminder, that was kind of the original one you could have made or knitted, and you can see here as well just the other versions of it there, which were slightly more cropped. So I'm happy with the length this has finished at. It's below my hips, which is what I personally wanted. And like I said, these sleeves are just adorable. I love them. Gudrun has done such a good job with the design. The pattern was super easy to read, had no issues with that, really easy. But then saying that, I suppose I am an advanced knitter, so I perhaps wouldn't have had any issues with the pattern anyway. As such, maybe a complete beginner would maybe have some, you know, it would be a bit more advanced if you're like, you know, picking up stitches around the armholes and everything like that. But I think, you know, it's more than achievable for people. It's just so lovely. As long as you can work out how to do colour work, you know, in the fair isle. And how to sort of hold your yarns as you're knitting without them twisting too much. It's super easy. It was lovely. It was easy to block. You know, Gudrun in her Shetland Trader book gives simple instructions on how to block Shetland wool the best. Again, the steeking, as you saw earlier in the video, just cut it and I've just tacked it down as per the instructions in the book, but I didn't have to crochet it or anything. It just all stuck together, the wool, because it is that Shetland sort of, you know, that wool that does grip. So absolutely fine with that. It was all good. I did think, is it all going to unravel slightly? And it didn't. It was really, really absolutely fine. The only thing I've now, after finishing it, I've had to change slightly for me is when I tried it on and I knitted the neckline, the roll neck, it was fine, but as I've blocked it, it seems to have increased in length, so it's quite, as you can see, it's quite long for me, for my neck. I think on the lady here, it's perhaps she's lifting her head up and it's fairly high, I think. And you can sort of see in this one, it's kind of the look. So that's a slightly different sweater design, but it's a very similar high sort of roll neck that really does sort of come up to your chin. And unfortunately on me, that I don't feel that is the most flattering look for me right now. So I've just rolled it down a second time and I'm happy with that look for me. I think that's absolutely fine. So yeah, I'm really pleased with that. And I mean, I could unpick it and make it slightly shorter, but I'm not going to. I don't feel the need to. There might be some winter mornings when I'm walking to work or my studio and think, oh, yeah, I just need that up nice and high, and I can do that. So I've got the options, which I like. So if I was to knit it again, I would maybe knit it slightly shorter, but I think going forward for a future project, I perhaps wouldn't make the same top again, because I have one now. That's predominantly the reason. I have this one. I could make it in multiple colours, but I like to try new different designs and things. So, but I love the sleeve design so much. I can imagine there is a jumper one in here that I like, that I think I mentioned earlier in the video. That was this one that had some really nice balloon sleeve styles on there as well, which I really liked. But I like the thought of maybe making it slightly slimmer on the body and making that into a dress style with that lovely ferrule on the sleeves instead. I think that would be a really good look. You can see there. I think that would be so much fun to do. So I've got an idea as well, as maybe mixing and matching a couple of patterns where I use this sleeve design, and if I do that I will make a video of that and show you how I've managed to combine the two. So anyone else thinking they might want to do that too, you can look at the advice I give you and see that. So if you'd like to see that, please comment below and I can look at doing that as a video when I make that potential project, which is good. So yeah, I'm so happy with how this has turned out. I love it. I absolutely love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. I'm really pleased with the fit of it. It fits lovely. Super happy with it. So on the body, how it fits. And the arms. Yeah, like I said, I can see me wearing it a lot this winter and autumn, and I love it. I absolutely love it. So I hope you've enjoyed this video and you've enjoyed watching the process of me knitting the Vair sweater. And thank you if you already subscribed to my channel. Much appreciated for your support. And if you haven't subscribed already and you'd like to see what else I'm going to be doing in the world of Shetland knitting, I've got the Shetland knitting belt I mentioned in my October knitting plans, or autumn knitting plans, if you would like to see that video, if you've not already. And I will be vlogging a project how I've knitted it with the belt and seeing how I get on with that process. So I'm quite excited about that, and some other exciting ventures into the world of fair old knitting that I'm looking forward to sharing with you too. So yeah, if you've not subscribed already and you'd like to see future videos or be notified when they release, then please click on the button below to subscribe to my channel. And once again, thank you for watching.